Hello, my name is Aidan and welcome to another Golf Predictor tutorial. In this video, I will be talking about the main options on the Form menu. So to begin, let's click on that menu item. The first 5 items on this menu all contain the same sort of stats but for different metrics. So as an example, I'm going to look at the last 5 tournaments form page. So we'll click on that. Okay, so looking at this page, you can see the now hopefully familiar drop-down boxes and informational panel. Under that, we have the main part of the page where you have the golfer information. Like the main prediction rankings page, this data table is ranked by GP score or GP rank. So we have Bubba Watson being the top ranked golfer for the 2015 Greenbrier Classic. The columns on this data table are different from the columns on the prediction rankings page. The first column you can see after the basic golfer information and his GP rank is his average finishing position in the metric of interest. So since we are looking at the last 5 events form page, this column shows you the average finishing position for the golfer in his last 5 events in the current GP season. This next column, the standard deviation, shows how consistent the golfer has been. So the lower this number, it means the more consistent the golfer has been. Of course, it could mean consistently good or consistently bad. The next columns show the basic stats for the metric of interest, such as the tournaments played, tournaments won, top 10s, missed cuts, and voids, which are non-finishes or even non-starts. If we look at the top player row in this data table, we see that for Bubba Watson, he's got a full last 5 tournament history, and out of those 5 tournaments, he has won 1, had 1 top 10, and 1 missed cut. He has had no non-finishes. It should be noted at this stage that for the statistics in the form categories, that wins are also counted as top 10s. That's only fair because a win is a top 10 finish after all. So if you want to know how many top 10s a golfer has had besides wins, you would have to subtract his number of wins from the top 10 column to get that number. So for example, we can see in this case that Bubba's win is also counting as a top 10, so 1 minus 1 is equal to 0 other top 10s besides his win. As usual, you can sort by any of the columns on the table. Before we do that, I should note that, as usual, if you forget or do not know what any of these abbreviations mean, there is a key at the bottom of the page. Okay, so say we want to find out who in the field has had the most top 10s in their last 5 events. So we click on the column to sort by that. You can see that this initial sort does it by lowest to high, which is not what we want. So we click on it once again. So there you see it, that in the field, Casey and Kisner have the highest number of top 10s in the field in their last 5 events, which is 3. So using these sortable columns, you can find which golfers may be on the hottest streaks. There are also some charts on this page that you can look at. So for example, you can see who is the best in this column, who is the best in this column, and who is the worst in this column. So for example, if you want to see who is the best in the standard deviation column, i.e. who is the most consistent, we can click on that link. The chart loads up, and there you can see that Tony Finau is the most consistent. I will hover over his bar, and you can see that his standard deviation is a very impressive 6.91. Anything in single digits means extremely consistent. So we'll go back to the previous page, and we would look for Tony Finau here. You can see he's down here near the bottom because we're now sorting again by rank. So you can click on Tony Finau, and before we do that, I'll just note as usual, if you hover over the first name of a golfer, you can see some extra information. In this case, you can see the world ranking for the golfer, which is 112 in the case of Tony. So you can click on Tony Finau to see his last 5 results. I've cheated again. I have this page ready up here on another tab, So if we scroll down to the tournament list, you can see that in his last 5 events in this season, Finau has finished 25th, 14th, 8th, 10th and 19th. So you can see why he's got such a great standard deviation. All his last 5 results are between 8 and 25, which means that he's been extremely consistent in this period, and hence his low value for standard deviation. Okay, we'll close that tab and go back to the main page. So I hope you can see how you can get useful information from these form pages. That's about it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.